Hello, people. Sorry for letting you guys wait. Was a little bit busy, but we are finally starting, and we have to discuss what happened yesterday in Conmebol World Cup Qualifiers. As we already knew, the four teams that directly qualified Ecuador, Uruguay, Argentina, and Brazil already directly qualified. So it was all a battle for the fifth spot. And Peru are back into the playoffs. They're not going to face New Zealand this time. They're going to face, obviously, the AFC participant, whether it be Australia or UAE, in a one-legged playoff in Qatar, where the World Cup will be later hosted later this year. So, Peru, got to give credit to them, but we're going to discuss every single game, and then we're going to discuss, how do we think the Conmebol teams will do at the World Cup this year? Because other than the first two in Brazil and Argentina, I don't know how well Ecuador, Uruguay, and if it is Peru, how well they're going to do in this World Cup. But that is a discussion we're going to have. First off, thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you for having your patience and waiting for me. I'm going to go through some of your comments right now before we get into the discussion. We're going to start with Ecuador versus Argentina, the first matchup. Albert, of course, Peru will make it. Sebastian, bad week. Hey, I feel bad for you, Sebastian. I feel bad for you indeed. Oh, here we go. The Ronaldo theory. The Ronaldo theory begins. Hello, Mo. How are you doing? And Peru will play either UAE or Australia later in June. I witnessed such an incredible game yesterday. First major game ever, and enjoy. Alejandro, I bet it was absolutely amazing, the game. Absolutely amazing. So kudos to you, man, for being there. I saw the reception that the players got going onto the field with all the sparkles going all over them for the Ecuadorians. Oh, it was fantastic. So I can imagine the atmosphere must have been bouncing. Peru can beat either UAE or Australia, in my opinion. We will discuss that soon. Peru was such a good side in 2018. Agreed. Just couldn't finish their chances. They should have actually been France, in my opinion. They actually played a pretty good game against France. But we're going to discuss about Peru. That was the special era. I think Chile could have won in 2014. Oh my God, that is a big statement indeed. Germany, Netherlands in a big friendly. They both qualified. They beat the finalists 2 years in a row right after and only got eliminated. But Brazil in a really close penalty shootout drama at home. Yep. It was the golden era for Chile. Peru will qualify. Australia isn't in form. UAE, same. I don't think they can do it. Even though Chile is my biggest rival, I hope they come back strong again because the Golden Generation was great. Hello, Matt. How are you doing? Let's be honest. Peru and Costa Rica are going to be at Qatar. Well, we're going to have to see about that. Ecuador played good against Argentina. Yes, they did. Ecuador, a good team, Matt, at home especially. Chile have disappointed me. Argentina and Brazil will go far. Hello, AD. Hello, Samuel. How are you guys doing? And FMA lastly says, got to love Peru's fan passion, to be honest. Given what's happening in Peru, yeah, I think there's an impeachment with the president, if I'm not mistaken. I think they can qualify easily because Australia is not the Australia we know, I guess. Well, first, Australia have got to get past UAE, which is not going to be easy. And I'm good. Good job, Matt. Good. And wow, no. Victory, George. We discussed it yesterday. Absolute heartbreak. Think about it. Let's before we get into the discussion of the games. No Salah, no Diaz, no Zlatan, no David Alaba, no Victor Osimhen. What other top players is there not going to be? I'm trying to think here off the top of my head. That's David Alaba. Did I say that already? No Chile? Yeah. No Italy, no Verratti, no Roma. There's a lot of big players, but that's why it's the top 32 teams who qualify for the World Cup. When it's 2026, everybody's invited. You come, you qualify, Yeah, that's what happens. We're going to discuss about Chile, Sebastian. Don't worry. And I thought Peru without Paulo Guerrero, they would be horrible, but they've recovered well, and we're going to discuss why it was. I hope Ben Brereton Diaz can help Chile and their comeback. Even Josh, how are you doing, Josh? And our match was Space. I understand your frustration. Missed last night's stream, so excited for this one. Nice. All right. Well, let's get to the discussion, people. Let's discuss the games as we're going to discuss all 5 games in Conmebol, and then we're going to discuss how we feel about Conmebol teams heading it. Because I have to be honest, Conmebol is my favorite confederation. As much as I'm from UEFA and from Finland, Conmebol just hits different. I don't know why. It's just the fans, the passion, the shithousery, the controversy with VAR. You just have to love this confederation for what it brings in the players and the passion it has. But first game, we're going to talk about Ecuador, obviously through to the World Cup and directly qualified. So congrats to Alejandro and every Ecuadorian out there. And then Argentina. And look, Ecuador are a fantastic team. And they have a fantastic manager in Alvaro, this is a young team. they have a lot of young players. You think of Moises Caicedo, Gonzalo Plata, these sort of guys. And Ecuador just, they're good. I mean, they're very good. And I think Alejandro told me that this game was at sea level because they've played most of their games at a high altitude, to get the altitude in favor of them. And they took it to Argentina. They played a good game. This wasn't the most, shall we say, a lot of chances created in this matchup. I think both teams were I think Argentina were more of the dominant team, judging by the highlights, guys. I couldn't watch the games because they were at like 3 a.m. for me in the morning. I couldn't watch them whatsoever, so I had to watch the highlights. But, Ecuador, they took it to Argentina. Argentina, we know, they're just kind of do their own business. Scaloni's done a fantastic, fantastic job as manager. And Julian Alvarez, obviously the Man City player, he's going to be going to Man City later this summer, got his goal. It was a little bit of a scrappy goal. Good work by Messi, and then Julian Alvarez is there to pounce. And then Enner Valencia in the 90th minute with a penalty, got saved by Emi Martinez, but then he pounced the rebound back into the net. And it was a draw. I think it was the fair result. Ecuador had a couple of good chances, and Argentina had one or two chances throughout the whole game. It was a pretty, kind of scrappy game. It was a kind of a Conmebol game where both teams were a little bit, I think, at times hesitant to attack, but it doesn't really matter this result because both teams are through to the World Cup. But we're going to have to discuss now about both teams and where we think they are heading into the World Cup at this very moment. Oh, that went all the way bottom. What happened here? No data found. All right. I'm going to have to then switch it up, people. Give me a second. But you guys give me your thoughts. How far do you think Ecuador and Argentina can go into the World Cup this year? Because for me, I think Ecuador, judging on their group, and I think they're going to be in pot 4. So if you're a pot 1 or pot 2 team, you want to avoid Ecuador at all costs because they are going to give a tough game to any team in World Cup qualifiers. So I would say Ecuador can make it to the round of 16, and this is a young team, and I think they're going to be primed and ready to compete in 2026 World Cup. I think that's when, you're going to see a real good Ecuadorian side who, they have Michael Estrada as well, who's at, I think, DC United, if I'm not mistaken. He's an up-and-coming, he's mid-20s, his age for a striker, but they have a lot of option where they can throw at, with Ecuador. And they're very good counterattacking wise. They can defend well with obviously Hinchapie and obviously who was the next the center back from Sao Paulo, who I cannot remember his name at the moment. The other Ecuadorian, the center back, I cannot remember his name. But I mean, Ecuador have been impressive throughout these whole World Cup qualifiers, right? If you ask, Conmebol fans, this side was up and coming. It was a little bit of a transition phase because obviously they missed the 2018 World Cup. And Alvaro, he's a very good manager. Did okay at Boca Juniors, but then we realized, he wasn't the problem at Boca Juniors. It's Boca Juniors were terrible. That was the problem with Alvaro. Then he comes to the Ecuadorian team, and they just took over. I think they started off brilliantly in these World Cup qualifiers. Sometimes in away games, they faded a little bit, but their home record, it was just fantastic, and they took advantage of that. And then for Argentina, we know they're going to be one of the World Cup favorites, and this is probably going to be Messi's last World Cup. So it's all or nothing for him at this point. It's all or nothing, and the players like Julian Alvarez, Di Maria, Rodrigo De Paul, Paredes, Otamendi, these all have to step up. And this is not just a one-man team. 2014, you look at that 2014 team for Argentina. My God, it was terrible. I mean, terrible. And compared to this team is much better than that 2014 team. So they don't have to rely only on Messi. They can get his brilliance and his link-up play when it's needed, but other players can step up for this Argentinian team. So I think they can make it to the final. I think they can win this World Cup, and it's just a matter of, can they handle the pressure? Can they handle the pressure? Can Argentina? But let me now see if it works. It's working now, people. There we go. I don't know what happened to FootMob, a very good side as well. But as you can see, Argentina didn't really play their full squad. You have Nico Gonzalez, you have McAllister from Brighton, Otamendi still, Tagliafico gave away the penalty. Not the greatest from him, but yeah, I mean, fantastic to see Ecuador back. It's just fantastic. I thought 2014 they were not in the most toughest group with France, Switzerland, and Honduras, but they didn't play the greatest either. I think this team can play good, but they might get a tough group because they're in pot 4. So, they're gonna have to hope that they're in Group A with Qatar, and then get a Mexico or something in that group, because I think they're much better than Mexico, as we all know, because Mexico at this moment are terrible, muy terrible. But yeah, I think that's the objective for both teams, and we'll see what happens for them later this year. And you guys can give me your thoughts in the chat. I know Alejandro wants to give his thoughts about Ecuador, and he was at the game, by the way, guys. So, man, it must have been a crazy experience for him. Let's see what you guys are saying here. Oh, wait. Missed last night's stream. All right, there we go. Ecuador made it hard against Argentina. Yes, they did. Alejandro says, yeah, Ecuador played on regular altitude and still tied. So proud. Mike, I wanted to make your live stream so bad. I'm in a bus in the middle of nowhere. What the heck, Alejandro? Well, must be a beautiful sight in the altitude around La Paz. That is crazy. I hope you're enjoying Ecuador, man. I hope you're enjoying it. If that happened, Sebastian, the internet would break. Yeah, backfired massively. Yep, it did. Pedro FN, thank you for tuning in. New Zealand just won 0-5. Did they qualify? No, they did not, Pedro. So New Zealand have to play. Well, most likely going to be Costa Rica, and it's a one-game playoff. And I don't know, New Zealand might have a chance. Different energy to these games. We're going to discuss about Lapadula. Brazil to win the World Cup. Well, we're going to have to talk about that. Ecuador had a good record at home in qualifying. Yes, they did. Okay, all right. And they're still knocking at the door. He's still about. I will support Switzerland this World Cup. I believe they can go far. How come the Swiss keeper is really good? I think Argentina could reach the quarters or semis. Yep. Mike, your thoughts on Argentina? What are they missing in your opinion? For me, they are a quarterfinal team. I don't know, Josh. I generally think this team can win the World Cup. And yes, it's not like a all-time Argentinian team where they have a fantastic midfield or stuff like that. But this team with Scaloni, they just have a good system where they're not heavily relying on just Messi. Other players can step up and they can throw different pieces at you. And that's why I like this Argentinian team. The one weakness they may have is fullback-wise. I think that's where they're weakest because Otamendi for Argentina just turns into prime Maldini. I don't know what it is, but he is fantastic with Argentina. But the one weakness I see with Argentina is their fullbacks. Are in talks with Infantino, proof for corruption. Are very strong Rapoli tomorrow. Well, we're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see what happens. Space LGBs. I know it's rough losing the game, but it's World Cup qualifiers. It's high stakes that are at hand. I watched the game. Ecuador were very impressive in the first half. The intensity, the physicality was very good and gave Argentina problems. Argentina were better in the second half. Not a pen for Ecuador, in my opinion. Yeah, the penalty that Tagliafico gave, it was a little bit dodgy. Argentina could do amazing. I agree with that. I have Argentina. Man, if that internet would break. I don't think Algeria is qualified. Argentina finals, Ecuador with the right Group A quarters. It would be amazing to reach the quarters if you're Ecuadorian. Minimum, I expect Ecuador to make it to round of 16. And I think Argentina could make a deep run into the semifinals. They'd have to avoid France and just overcome any psychological barriers. I think this team can get through the psychological barriers. After winning the Copa America with Messi, I think now a lot of the pressure under the players has lifted off them, especially, Di Maria, Messi have talked about this is going to be their last hurrah with the national team. So all the eggs are into this basket. So this World Cup is going to be fascinating. Hopefully, Enner Valencia and his experience of playing in the World Cup can help. Yep, exactly. Argentina, Portugal, not relying on one player this time around. No, they're not. They're not one-man team at this point. Seriously, on paper, Argentina team doesn't blow me away. I understand that, but they're a good team. I can't wait for the draw either. I can't wait. Argentina, don't even remind me of that Argentinian tattooed bulldog on the sideline. Oh, he was a disaster. Clueless and didn't even know what starting 11 to choose. He was literally chopping. He was a disaster. Calvin, he was an absolute disaster, that Argentinian bulldog. That's when because I'm an Argentinian fan, that's why I gave up on this team. I couldn't believe that performance in the World Cup, especially after Croatia. I couldn't recognize them. If Peru qualified to the World Cup, Gareca is gonna need to be very tactical because we face a huge issue in squad depth. That is something we have to discuss with Peru. What are your thoughts on Denmark? Oh, they can go semifinals easily. Denmark are a fantastic team. Stays in the pot so Ecuador does not get them. Oh, that would be funny to see Ecuador and Canada in the same group. That would be funny. I like the team. Kasper Hjulmand is a fantastic manager for Denmark. I also think Argentina can win this World Cup. This team is much better than 2018. Also, England can reach semis again or even final. Eldon, if that final happens, internet will break as well. Peru, in my opinion, will make it. Yep, we're going to have to discuss about that. Imagine the Argentinian fans jumping during the national anthem in Qatar's biggest stadium. Look, whenever that national anthem for Argentina rings out, the fans just go crazy. I absolutely love it. But yeah, we're going to discuss about that later. But let's continue, guys. Let's continue then with the Conmebol World Cup qualifiers. Let me just go back to this. Hopefully you guys are all having a beautiful day. Remember to also hit the like button on the stream. There is, 21 of you, and we have 18 likes. Disappointing, man. Disappointing. All right, let's get to then the next matchup that we're going to talk about, it is, oh, wait, there we go. Venezuela taking on Colombia. So Colombia are out, people. Oh my God. I can't believe they missed on the World Cup. I'm genuinely shocked. That 7-game stretch where they didn't score a goal really, really cost them. Oh, really cost them. I don't know what to say about this team anymore. It's an absolute shambles. Absolute shambles, this team. They only started scoring in the last 2 games against Bolivia and Venezuela. Really? Where was this against Peru? Where was this against Paraguay? Against Uruguay? Now they show up? And James Rodriguez missed the first penalty, by the way, guys. That was a retake. He retook the penalty, and it didn't look like it was much in that penalty, but they just drew too many games. They cost themselves. Colombia only have themselves to blame, and I can't really blame the manager Rueda either, because he's actually very good, and tactically a good manager. Just the players failed him. They just failed him. I mean, Sinisterra, Falcao, Muriel, obviously no Zapata in this year because he's been injured, I think, this whole year, if I'm not mistaken. Luis Diaz he scored on last game, but before that, he was not good for this Colombian national team. So a lot of question marks for the future. A lot of question marks for Colombia. Where do they go? What manager do they hire? And that's going to be the key issue, because we know Colombia, they produce talent. Like Luis Sinisterra at Feyenoord. He's a one player to watch out for, guys, especially for the future for Colombia. But yeah, I think it's out now. Falcao, James, Cuadrado, Ospina. I think the next Copa America will be their last tournament. I just don't see them, going to be in the next Conmebol World Cup Qualifiers stage. I just don't see it anymore. But I only have themselves to blame. Those 7 games where they didn't score a goal, it was just the nail in the coffin. And as Albert says in the comments, that Peru game, that really did cost them. I think if that ended in a draw, who knows? But since Colombia lost it with like 5 minutes to go, that was it. That was it. You just didn't see it anymore for this side. So Colombia only have themselves to blame in this game. Actually, very entertaining game, back and forth. Colombia started off very strong. They had a couple chances off the line, especially Luis Diaz. Venezuela then come back with their couple of chances. Rondon had a fantastic chance in the box, and how he didn't hit the target is beyond me, but it's Rondon. So I think Venezuela, though, this is a team that can make a debut at the 2026 World Cup. They have some good technical players, but I'm looking more at the manager Peckerman, and we know Peckerman has led several Conmebol teams to a World Cup. You look at, I think he didn't lead Argentina. He led Colombia to the World Cup in 2014, where they did fantastic. So this is a side that, if you want to put money on making a debut at the next World Cup, it is Venezuela. I think they can make it definitely to the next World Cup. So yeah, Colombia are out. It's an absolute shame. Don't get to see the beautiful football they play. Luis Diaz, my guy, he's not going to be there, but I only have themselves to blame in this whole campaign. 7 games without a goal. It cost them at the end. So 1-0 finish for Colombia, but it wasn't enough. As we know, Peru won their game, and it really didn't matter in this context then. Oh, yeah, no disrespect, but I think Finland is losing some motivation, because after a team qualifies for a major tournament, yeah, Samuel, we better do well in the Nations League. That's all I got to say. Guilty, forgot to like. Yeah, Josh, shame. Just kidding, Josh. Thanks for tuning in, by the way, guys. Remember, guys, to go check out A View from the Stands, a fantastic channel, and he does a lot of watch-alongs for all sorts of leagues, and actually did a couple of watch-alongs for Bodo Glimt, so go give him a subscribe as well. When does the nations release the World Cup kits? Probably, I would imagine, September, October, around then. They usually release it a month or 2 months before the World Cup. I'm definitely going to get the USA one. I'm going to get maybe the Ghana one. I have to get Ecuador. And who else? Well, we're going to have to get USA as well. Colombia played themselves by drawing too many games, but really that game against Peru was the nail in the coffin. Exactly. Yep. Well, I hope so, Sebastian. Colombia just seemed like they lacked goals, which is poor to me. Yep, it is exactly Colombia out. Why? Wow, I just realized Luis Diaz won't be at the World Cup. That we needed that magic, bro. I needed that salsa. I needed the Jogo Bonito sort of skills from Luis Diaz at a World Cup. It's gone. It's just gone. He has himself to blame as well. No more Falcao. Yeah, I think Falcao is done now. He's no more at the World Cup. I think he's done with the Colombian national team as well. Colombia had 85 shots in the 7 games and only 15 on target. See, that's the problem. They did play well, but just when it got to the final third and their final decision making, Colombia were just dreadful in those 7 games, especially absolutely dreadful. The Peru game, especially, where they had, I think, 30 shots and 2 of them were on target. Yeah, I said 2 of them on target from 30 shots. So, yep, they have never qualified. Yep, Venezuela have never qualified. Sebastian, I'm just gonna be a one-man team today, so just thank you though. But Monty won't leave. That's a good for us. Okay, I thought he resigned, but nice to see. Best of luck for Venezuela's future. Exactly. Peru always has beautiful kits. Yeah, I might have to check out their jersey. They had good ones in the 2018 World Cup. I like the Peru's kits. I'm glad that 2026 9 CAF teams are going to qualify. Then one thing we 100% qualify. Exactly. No way, man. Thank you for tuning in. He says, do you think Italy has regained a bit of... No, they haven't. Come on, man. That's a friendly. They don't get any credit. They don't get any credibility. You lost to North Macedonia at home. You're the defending European champions. I'm not going to give you any credibility whatsoever. Nope. No. Talk to me when you make a World Cup, Italy. As much as I love Serie A, and I always big up the Serie A on this channel, but right now, it ain't looking good. Atalanta and Roma better go far in the European competitions this year. Rohan, thank you for tuning in. Rohan, we will qualify. The only way the USA cannot qualify is if we lose 6-0 to Costa Rica today. If I wake up and I see 6-0 or 7-0 for Costa Rica, you don't even want to see my reaction. You don't even want to see my reaction. Yeah, the Japan jersey as well. Nope, we will not, and that is sad. That is very much sad. All right, guys, we continue on the Conmebol train. Oh, you gotta love Conmebol, man. Absolutely, guys. Where do you rank Conmebol in your favorite confederation and World Cup qualifiers, or just in like continental tournaments? You guys, let me know in the chat. So, we move to the next game. We move to the next game. Pedro, are you watching with us the draw on Friday? Pedro, I'm going to have a live reaction on YouTube and Twitch to the draw. I'm going to be 35 or 30 minutes before the actual draw begins. And guys, if you've been here on the channel, I've talked months and months about the World Cup qualifiers, discussing who will qualify and all this sort of stuff. So you know I'm going to be having a live reaction. So actually, mods, either Sebastian or Samuel, guys, link my live draw, the link to it in the chat. If you could do that, please, that'll be fantastic. You are the mods, so you better do the business as I am doing my business here. But thank you, Sebastian and Samuel, if you guys could do that. Yeah, so I'll be having a live reaction to the draw on Friday. And one thing is for certain. We will not get Argentina and Nigeria in the same group, and we will get the USA and Ghana in the same group. Book it right here. You're going to hear it first. It's going to be USA and Ghana in the same group. It's always happens. Always happens. All right, before we discuss this game, just feels like yesterday. Oh, don't even Calvin, man. That's when I fell in love. Oh, Mr. Rodriguez, man, that World Cup was stunning. You know, as much as people talk about that goal against Uruguay, my favorite goal was the Japan one where he chipped it. I was like, this guy's different. Oh my God, Colombia could win this, and then it didn't quite happen. Yeah, tough love is what Italy needs. Maybe not even love. We need to get yeah, Italy need to get their shit together. Exactly. I rank Conmebol third. My mom is from the USA, so if Denmark get knocked out before the USA, exactly, you got a backup plan, Rohan. You got a backup plan. I don't have that backup plan. I'm a one-man team right now. I'm happy America's going to qualify at least. I'm happy for Canada too, and I hope they go. Canada are going to be dark horses this year. Okay, all right. So you get to watch the draw with me, Matt. Nice. Conmebol is level with UEFA in terms of excitement, but it's harder to qualify in South America. 100% agree. 100% agree. Enjoyment-wise, CAF and South America are clear quality-wise in UEFA. I mean, if we talk about quality, it's UEFA, Conmebol, and then CAF, AFC, and then AFC and CONCACAF. That's going to be like the difference maker in this World Cup to see which one is better. And thank you, Sebastian, as well for putting the link. But have to break Sebastian's heart. Chile losing 2-0 to Uruguay. The Golden Generation is done. It's done. It should have been done a couple years ago, but it's officially done now. So Chile obviously had to win the game and hope that Peru would draw and Colombia would draw. Neither happened, and they lost at home. Somehow they're actually 26th ranked in the world. Okay, but that's a different story for another day. But yeah, I mean, Chile were not too terrible in this game, and I did see Ben Berriton Diaz actually start the match, which I thought was pretty crazy, and I'm pretty sure Blackburn are not going to be happy about that decision, but that's for Blackburn to deal with. But I mean, Uruguay had a lot of good chances in this game. Cavani is injured again, so United fans, just letting you know, Cavani, I know he's always injured for you guys, but he's injured once again. And Uruguay just going about their business. It was a very actually end-to-end match because Chile had to go for the win and left themselves very exposed at the back. But it was nice to see. It was good match to watch based on the highlights, and Suarez scoring a bicycle kick goal. Great to see. He didn't even start the match, came off the bench, and then Valverde's goal was absolute rocket into the top left corner from Valverde. And Uruguay, man, they just do the business. It was looking very, very bad after that 4-0 defeat away in Bolivia, and I was like, are Uruguay actually going to miss the World Cup? Oscar Tabarez, the longest-serving international manager at the time, he is gone. And then, obviously, Diego Alonso, the former Inter Miami manager, comes in, and Uruguay get 4 wins in a row. Obviously, the Peru game, controversy, but it is what it is. And Uruguay are back in the World Cup once again. And you know what? This time, while we look at the older generation, you look at Suarez, you look at Godin, you look at Cavani and these sort of guys, but you got to think about the younger generation as well in this side. You look at Bentancur, Valverde, Orujo, De La Cruz, you look at Pelistri, you look at, obviously, oh my God, what was his name? Darwin Núñez. So they have actually a lot of good players. Matias Vini as well of AS Roma. So I actually like the way this Uruguay team is built. It's just a matter of how Diego Alonso is going to approach games in the World Cup. Are they going to be the old Uruguay where they just make it physical and sit back and take it from set pieces and win there? Or are they actually going to try and play some attractive football, which they can with these players? They have fantastic players, Uruguay, and that's just a question for Diego Alonso to answer. But in this game, I think they fully deserve to win. They had a lot of good chances in the game, and Chile left themselves exposed at the back. And now we got to discuss about Chile, and I think they're going to have a lot of hard years ahead. I'm sorry, Sebastian, but it's not looking good for Chile for the future. I don't know what players you have in the youth, like in the under 20s, under 18s, but let's just name Gary Medel, Isla, Vidal, Sanchez, Bravo. They're all gone. They're all gone. So that's Sanchez, Vidal, Medel, Isla. That's 4 or 5 starters gone, and that are key players. Key players. They're all going to be gone. So it's not looking good for Chile. I don't know when they will be back into the World Cup or when they can win a Copa America, but it might be a long, long time. To win a Copa America, it's going to be a very long time. That golden generation under Jorge Sampaoli at first, when they won the 2015 Copa America, where they were playing some fantastic football. Vargas was amazing in that Copa America, but now the magic's gone. The magic's gone. And as much as I love Chilean football, La Roja, dark times are ahead. Dark times are ahead. I think they're going to be one of those teams at the bottom, like the bottom 3, I think Paraguay will kind of bounce back a little bit with Scudetto. Bolivia will be at the bottom, and I think Venezuela will overtake Chile in the next World Cup qualifiers in Conmebol. And they're just going to have to rely on Ben Berriton Diaz. I wonder if Chile are going to do the same thing, as kind of like Peru, where they go after players who are not even born in Chile, kind of like Lapadula with Italy, where, Lapadula could have played for Italy. And then, Peru called up and said, hey, come play for us. And they did that with Ben Berriton Diaz. And we're going to see if then Chile do that with other players. I think they have the other guy, Robinson, from Miami. So, yeah, it's going to be now a transition phase for Chile. Should it have happened already before these World Cup qualifiers? 100%. But, hey, this golden generation gave the best years for Chilean football. It gave the best years. They won 2 Copa Americas. I think in that 2014 World Cup, had they not faced Brazil in that playoff, in that penalties, I think they could have made it to a semifinals because the team was fantastic and they dismantled Spain as well in their group. played a fantastic game against obviously Netherlands, and they beat Australia in that group. And I thought Chile were going to do fantastic things in the World Cup. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. They met Brazil in the penalties and lost. So, you know what? It might be sad times now, but when you look back on that, you're going to be like, wow. You look at YouTube and you see the win over Argentina twice on penalties and back-to-back Copa Americas, and you think to yourself, what a time. What a time to be a Chilean. And now it's just about transition phase and just being patient if you're Chilean. So I think for Uruguay, look, they have a lot of good players. Coates has actually revitalized his career. Bentancur, Valverde, Lucas Torreira. So I think they can give any team in the world trouble because Araujo is a fantastic defender. It's just about scoring wise, if they can get enough goals. But with Darwin Núñez, a little bit of Darwin Núñez and Pelistri, I think Uruguay can do some damage. I think they can make it to quarterfinals max. That's going to be my guess for Uruguay in this World Cup. But we're going to have to see when it comes to, obviously, injuries and stuff like that. Do Chile or Peru have any chance, or are they out and done? No, Peru, we're going to discuss, are into the intercontinental playoffs, but Chile are done. I'm praying that 2022 will be the best year of my life, especially May and December. So he's talking about, obviously, Bristol Rovers and England. I want Uruguay. Albert, don't give Ghana PTSD. Don't give them PTSD. Uruguay and Argentina always seem to do well in the cup. Yes, they do. They always do. Uruguay looks good with Núñez and Suarez in the attack. Yep. Peru can get to the World Cup via plus. Yep. I don't think many expect Uruguay to finish above Ecuador before match day 17. Nope. Can you one day do a video on what players you want to see get called up to the Finnish national and what your lineup would be if you were coach? Yeah, I could definitely do that. I was thinking about actually doing a separate channel just talking about the Finland national team. So I might have to do something like that in the future when, the Nations League begins and stuff like that. But the problem with Uruguay is their goalkeeper, Muslera is terrible. I gave up on him after that 2018 World Cup. Chile are still with the old guard. You need to move on from that and bring the youth. Give them a chance. This golden generation have done their job. Time for a new era. Yep, exactly. And they just need a new era. Chile looking for a new coach. We need younger players, and now we got to focus on Copa America 2024 and qualify for 2026 in USA. Vidal looked to stay, and Alexis also. We have a good goalkeeper. The Cortés was actually a pretty good goalkeeper, Sebastian. It was actually pretty good yesterday as well. It's going to be weird that this World Cup is going to be. It's not going to be the same World Cup feeling when it's cold. Rohan, when I'm in my jacket and I have to go outside and go maybe somewhere to watch the game, I ain't going to feel the same as going out in shorts. I'll tell you that here in Finland, especially. Brazil are the Man City version of international football. They got too much depth of top quality. We're going to discuss about Brazil. How do you see quarterfinals max? I don't know about that 5-in-the-back system that Louis van Gaal wants to play, especially. I don't know. We're gonna have to see. They should have started the rebuild after failing to qualify for the World Cup as South American champions. Also, it's easy to say that in hindsight, but you always have to think about the future. But I mean, the quality players that they have, Sanchez, Vidal, they're quality players, but I just don't think they were prepared to let go. They weren't prepared to let go, just like Costa Rica. And look at Costa Rica. They're on the verge of making it back to the World Cup again. I want some revenge against Uruguay. I bet you do. If you're from Ghana. Vidal and Alexis gonna continue. Okay, so still, Sebastian, man, you gotta move on. You have to move on. Are the South Americans eligible to feature for clubs this week in terms of fitness? Yeah, Luis Diaz will be vaccinated. Don't worry. He should have scored, by the way, last night. He had a couple good chances. Chile is not a bad team. The problem is that Uruguay is more than Chile. According to the transfer market, Uruguay is one of the 10 most expensive teams in the world, more than Belgium. That must be because of Araujo. It has to be because of Araujo and Valverde and Darwin Núñez. But Chile, they're not a bad team, but they're just they need to get some more youthful players, and they have to get some, like, as much as I love Gary Medel, but come on, man, the center back play for Chile has to improve, and Isla as well. It's not 2014 World Cup. Even if you don't believe me, look for it. Oh, look, but I believe you. I calculate the population of all nations reached to the. Okay, wow, 1.5 billion. Holy cow. The goalkeeper front, we are fine with Brian Cortés, same with Berrito and Suaza, and other youngsters coming through from Chilean League. Okay, Sebastian, you say Chilean League, but tell me, how well has the Chilean League done in Copa Libertadores? Just tell me. That's what I want to know. Pablo Aranguiz is doing well. Universidad. Yeah, I don't know if it's this Aranguiz who's in the starting lineup, because this Aranguiz is with Bayer Leverkusen, but I have to check him out as well. Uruguay. So Portugal. Portugal. So Bravo. If he was not going to be goalkeeper anymore, Albert, stop. Man, oh my God, what a game. I was on my feet the whole time. Yep, one of the greatest games ever. One tip, do not get. No, we are not doing that. We are not doing that. No, 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 no. I think Brazil will get to the semis. Yeah, we're going to discuss about that. FB, Fizma, thank you for tuning in. What is the most favorite World Cup for you, Michael? In terms of entertainment-wise, I thought the 2002 World Cup was fantastic, and 2014. Oh, whenever I heard that intro in 2014, my goosebumps were feeling. But we got to talk about two more games, people, and then I'm gonna head out of here. So let's continue. Let's continue on the road. Where is the game? We gotta talk about it. Okay, give me a second, people. There we go. Boom. So there we go. The next team we're gonna talk about. Aha. Are they back, people? Seleção, Brazil. They're looking good. I'm telling you, this team is looking good right now. 2018 was a little bit of a disappointing, especially against Belgium, of course. But you know what? This team is good. This team was really, really good. Not because of their starting 11, but just the amount of ability they have and the great options they have in the midfield, out wide. The problem is, what is Tite going to do with the front line? Is he going to play Neymar in a false nine? Because they have no striker. They just don't. I don't want to hear about Richarlison. I know he scored 2 goals in this game. I'm not trusting Richarlison with this team. Not one bit. So actually, you guys let me know. What would be your front three for the Seleção? Because we know who the 2 CDMs are going to be. It's going to be Casemiro and Fred, and it's most likely going to be Lucas Paqueta in the 10 role. And then it's just about the front 3. So let me know what would be your front 3 for the Seleção in this year's World Cup. But I mean, going away to Bolivia, and Conmebol fans know, Bolivia turned into Jogo Bonito Brazil when they play in La Paz in the altitude. And Brazil went into there and washed them away 4-0. And some fantastic goals. Lucas Paqueta with 1, Richarlison with 2, and the Bruno Guimaraes goal. My God, what a goal that was. And it was a very entertaining game. Like, Bolivia had a couple of great chances, and Brazil were fantastic. So, and this was a little bit of a makeshift Brazil because obviously they beat Chile early on. But, I mean, that Bruno Guimaraes goal was absolutely fantastic. And as you can see, a couple of changes here and there for Brazil. But Dani... Guys, can you imagine if Dani Alves wins the World Cup? He actually has completed football. He's completed football. He's won everything except the World Cup, Olympics, Copa America, Champions League. I'm not too sure about Copa Libertadores. Somebody can let me know if Dani Alves has won a Copa Libertadores. But as you can see, Bruno Guimaraes and Fabinho were the 2 CDMs. I mean, the talent is just ridiculous on this team. Absolutely ridiculous. And even Coutinho was on the left wing, and I didn't see him at all in the highlights, to be honest. Didn't see him at all. And what do you see there? No Vinicius Jr., no Neymar, no Rafinha, and they still put 4 past Bolivia. And that altitude ain't no joke, people. It ain't no joke. So this team is just ridiculous. And now the question mark for everybody, and for me including, is what do we expect from Brazil? This has to be Neymar's tournament. This is going to be his last tournament with the Seleção, or maybe the next Copa America in 2024. But this is it. This is everything. They have to show up. It's been 20 years since they've won a World Cup. 20 years for Brazil. I don't know if that's the longest time in their history, but that's a long time for Brazil. We know they're the birthplace of just bringing up ballers. I mean, the endless talent they have. So it's about Tite and how they're going to approach this with the front 3 especially. Who's going to play on the right wing, who's going to play down the middle, and who's going to play on the left. So you guys let me know what would be your front 3. I mean, Martinelli even came on, and Martinelli almost scored one of the most ridiculous goals you will see. Look at this. Martinelli, Rodrigo, Arthur. Okay, Rodrigo and Arthur are overrated in my opinion. Casemiro, Fred, Danilo, Felipe. I don't know why Felipe is still getting called up. Thiago Silva. So I mean, the talent on this team is just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But take nothing away. I mean, Bolivia, we know it's Marcelo Martins Moreno or bust. I mean, he was the top goal scorer in these World Cup qualifiers, but hey, Bolivia, they looked good for a while to maybe make it to the World Cup, but we know they're just a home team and that's all they are. But if I'm going to be realistic here, Brazil should be winning this World Cup. And my front three would be Anthony on the right, and it's going to be Neymar down the middle, and it's going to be Vinicius Jr. on the left wing. Now that's a scary front three. With Lucas Paqueta in the 10 role, Brazil can do some damage. And it's just a matter of rising to the occasion and not being faltered. And Marquinhos and Thiago Silva having monster games. We know Fred, he turns to Fredinho with the Seleção. And then when he goes back to United, he turns into Fred. So the fullbacks is going to be the key issue, I think. As much as we all love Dani Alves and he's a baller, can he still do it at what, 39? Who's going to be left back? Teles, not the greatest defensively, going forward, fantastic, but defensively that is going to be an issue. So I expect Brazil to at least make it to the semifinals. And they should be winning this World Cup, just based on the talent and the way they are playing. But they need to get some friendlies against top teams like Germany, 7-1, of course, but England, France before the World Cup. They're just to test themselves. They can't be playing, Honduras and Haiti and these sort of guys. Test yourself before this World Cup and see where you're at if you're Brazil. But this team is just so talented. It's just talent is abundance, absolute abundance, as if you ask me. Vidal and Alexis need to stay for some years because they will help the youngsters. Uruguay have a very good player. Araujo is fantastic. As Ecuador today just signed Victor Claesson. I've never heard of him. Okay. All right, Victor Claesson. In my opinion, on the future of Conmebol will be controversial. So he has 1 Brazil, 2 Argentina, 3 Ecuador, 4 Uruguay, 5 Colombia, 6 Venezuela, 7 Bolivia, 8 Peru, 9 Chile, 10 Paraguay. Nations League will help a lot. A lot of generational talent will retire. That is very true, Alejandro. 2014 was my favorite World Cup. Yeah, mine as well. The last time a Chilean club went far in the Libertadores. See, Sebastian, quarters. They also have Manuel Ugarte. He is 6 and he is 20 and he's crazy. Ugarte. Who is that for Chile? Pedro, you got to let me know that. Brazil seem to be back at their best. I think semifinals or finals. Oh, yeah. Brazil, they will definitely. They do play a 4-2-3-1, but it's basically a 4-3-3. Matt, it's basically a 4-3-3. It's like a FIFA formation, with the 4-3-3, but attacking. That's basically how Brazil play. Talent in abundance. I hope someone that isn't Brazil, Germany, Spain, or France win this World Cup. I like to see someone new. We all do. No way, man. Great username, by the way. We all do. Like, I want to see. I'm going to be biased here. I want to see the USA win. I also want to see Denmark. I want to see. I'm done with Belgium. I gave up on them after that World Cup 2018. They should have won that World Cup. Other teams, Portugal, because they've never won a World Cup. So we need to get a new winner, but let's see what happens. No disrespect to Peru, as I know a lot of my friends don't agree. To their credit, I do think they really have a good chance of making. They do. It's just depending on their group. I guess it's been a long time since Brazil has won it so bad. It's nice to see them have a good comeback. Yeah, I think they're going to have a good World Cup. I think it was good to see Gabriel. Oh, yeah. Gabriel Martinelli was fantastic, Elias, by the way. Arsenal fans, you got a player. Yeah, 4 goalkeepers on the bench. Yep. That is so funny formation. I don't think they played that 5 in the back, but let's see. Peru should qualify to the World Cup. Then you can think of if they qualify or not because they're pot 4. They just, this could happen, people, because Germany are in pot 2, by the way. They're in pot 2. They are in pot 2. Every time I see the World Cup trophy, I always think of Brazil. It's like they're made to win it. Yeah, of course they're made to win it. They've won it 5 times. What makes Brazil football so special? They continually look. Trust. It's just something in the water. They play it on the streets, everywhere. Right? It's all about football. Futebol. It's all about football in Brazil. You ride or die with the sport. There's nothing else. So it's a huge country population-wise, and they just have that mentality of being the best. They just being ballers and being the best. Look at Ronaldinho. Look at Ronaldo. I mean, Ronaldo he could have been the best player ever had he just not had those injuries. And that's easy to say, but come on. He was ridiculous at Barcelona. Absolutely ridiculous. Winner, Denmark, second. Pedro, if that happens, I would not complain. You think of course, our better sides comparing with European. It's going to be interesting. What about France? Of course, France is going to be there, but World Cup curse. World Cup curse. Rapinha is also good in the wings if Tite doesn't start Anthony. Yep, exactly. Which Brazilian is Neymar's higher? Oh man. Does Neymar? He does. So this is what Tite needs to answer. What is Neymar's best position? Is it going to be out wide, or is it going to be something where the front three kind of like interchange positions, where Vinicius Jr. could be a little bit down the middle, Neymar can go to the right, Anthony, Rapinha can go on the left. It's going to be interesting to see how this Brazil team are going to evolve during the World Cup. But no kidding, they got the talent. That would be ridiculous. Do you think Conmebol or AFC will win the playoff? Look, Australia and UAE, in my opinion, they don't have any chance against Peru. I know it's a one-game playoff, and that's going to be the benefit to the AFC team. But I mean, the way these two teams are playing, it isn't good enough. It just isn't. I don't think even Australia could beat UAE. I'm not even joking. If you look at the way, Australia are playing, absolutely abysmal. They're in pot one, Zane, so they should get a relatively easy group. I mean, as long they could get a European team, like a Germany, which would be cool too. If Brazil play England, that would be a real test for their attacking players. Are not depending. Yeah, new team will be Denmark. I hope so. Yes, he is. Tite is still in charge. Us against Brazil would be mental in the group stage. I would love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. Denmark winning would be such a feel-good moment. Oh, yep. All jokes aside, France will be lit. World Cup draw simulator could be. Do you think Brazil are missing a number 9? I mean, a traditional. Oh yes, of course, Calvin. That's the problem. I am not trusting Richarlison one bit. I don't care if he scores all these goals for Everton or Brazil right now. He ain't gonna win either World Cup. He ain't. So just think about 2014 World Cup. Neymar actually led this team with Fred and Bernard. Who exactly? Bums. Absolute bums these players were. They were not good enough. So where is the 9? There really isn't. You want to call John Linton? He can play various positions. So Neymar has to play in the false 9, and he has to step up this World Cup. He has to step up, of course. Hey, Hosam, thank you for tuning in. Aren't Peru out, or who are they playing? They're going to play the third place team, the best third place team from AFC. So either UAE or Australia, and that match is going to be played a week before than the Peru match. So I think it's at this rate, unless Australia change, it might be UAE. It's just interesting that the World Cup has never been won by a non-powerhouse nation. True, because in the World Cup, guys, it's just about squad depth and just having that winning mentality. There's just something different. I think Croatia just tired out in that final because they played extra time against Germany, Russia, and England. They just tired out. That was the problem for them. What did I say? Denmark, Russia, England. That was the road that they had. Nope, can't underestimate them, especially from Pele to Romario to Ronaldo. It seems like those number 9s get Brazil to the World Cup. We went from Pele to Romario to Ronaldo to Fred. What? Oh, God. Oh, most probably Conmebol will win versus AFC, but when I saw UAE beat South Korea, I found it. UAE could win against South Korea. They have a chance to win, plus you should consider. Yep. This is very true as well. It would be good to see Ukraine. Yeah, would be as well. It took 37 years, to win again in Bolivia. See, they tried in five different qualifying processes, 3 wins for Bolivia and 2 draws. I'm telling you, people, Bolivia are just Joga Bonito Brazil and La Paz. I don't understand. And then they turn into San Marino in sea level. Imagine England winning after. Oh, God. I've been following all the qualifier games, and there's no chance Peru will qualify. I don't see them beating either Australia or UAE, says Oliver Baines. Okay, Oliver, you're going to have to give me a good reason why Australia or UAE are going to win. You have to give me a reason. I think they should. I don't think it was really his fault. To be honest. It wasn't his fault that they missed the World Cup. I got to be honest with you. All right, guys, I'm going to have to move on to the next one. Got a lot of comments coming through. I saved the next one, which is Albert's. I'll quickly say this. Oh, God, Hulk. I don't even want to talk about Hulk because of the things he's done. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. All right, people, we're going to go to the last game to talk about Peru. 2-0 victory over Paraguay. Let me, if I can get it up here. There we go. Let's see if we can get it up here. Remember, guys, hit the like button on the stream. If you're new around here, obviously subscribe to the channel. As always, big up to everybody in the chat. We just have a nice little discussion on Conmebol World Cup qualifiers and talking about the teams that have qualified and how well I think they're going to do in this World Cup as of now. But the last team, it is Peru picking up the victory. In Lima, crowd was absolutely electric. You saw all the emotion heading into the game. Crazy things going on in the government in Peru at the same time as this game is being played. You just gotta love it. And Lapadula, man, Italy should have called him up. I think Italy are ruining not calling up Lapadula because he has been fantastic for Peru ever since being called up before the Copa America in 2020. And he got the goal early in the matchup. It was a little bit of a scrappy goal. And then Yotun with a fantastic kind of like half bicycle gate goal. And I got to see who crossed it to Yotun. I can't remember who crossed it to Yotun, but it was a fantastic cross to him. And just a great half volley. Absolutely fantastic half volley. And Peru, comfortable 2-0. Paraguay didn't even lay a glove on them. Didn't even lay a glove. They just kind of did a little tap, and that's it. Little tap. Peru had a comfortable victory, and we have to give credit to Gareca. Ricardo Gareca, this is amazing. He might be the best manager in Conmebol. I'm not even joking to you people, because when you look at this Peru team, actually, you know what? Let me pull up their team. Let me pull up their team quickly. Just to show you what we're discussing here. People, I'm just going to pull it up for you guys. Boom. There we go. Look, this is their team. Now, when you look at Peru's team, I know a couple players. I know Advincula from Boca Juniors. I know Zambrano from Boca Juniors. And that's about it from the defense-wise. Look, this team should not be competing with the top 4 or 5 in Conmebol just based on just talent alone. Just based on talent. And also, if you look at the Peruvian league, how well it does in Copa Libertadores, it doesn't do anything. I don't know how many teams make. I'm trying to think of the one team in Peru I know. Alianza Lima, I think that's the name of it. I don't think they make it out of the group ever in Copa Libertadores. So the Peruvian league is not that good, as we know. And it's just crazy to think how well this team does. And you have to just give massive credit to Gareca. Absolutely massive credit. Like Christian Cueva, Yoshimir Yotun, Edison Flores, fantastic. They just work hard for this team. They really do. And the main guy, Lapadula, what a great signing. You have to say it. What a great signing from the Peruvian national team to do it, to get Lapadula, because obviously Paulo Guerrero, he's old, 38. He can't do it anymore, really. So Lapadula, come in, masked up, all well. You score the goals for us, and it's all good. This team has no business whatsoever being in top 5. But it is absolutely fantastic that they are. The fans are passionate. The players want to play for their national team. And Gareca is just a master. Absolute master. He's a tactical genius. He knows how to motivate these players. He knows how to get the best out of them. And he just tactically knows perfectly where to put Yotun or Flores or any of these guys in a great position. So I don't think even Raul Rui Diaz from Seattle Sounders, who was fantastic last season for Seattle, was even called up. And I don't think Andre Carrillo even played. So Gareca, man, the guy is an absolute genius. You have to give him massive credit. Oh boy, I mean, wow. Kudos to Peru. And all they have to do now is either beat Australia or UAE. I see them doing it. It is going to be difficult because they're not going to be at home. It's a one-legged playoff. They have to be very worried about that. But they on the way they play and the way I've seen them play. Because look, wait, let me just show you something else, guys. Let me just show you something else. Here we go. Wait, let me just show you this as well as we talk about Peru, because this is they did the exact same thing in 2018 World Cup qualifiers, right? Can you guys see that? Let me just make sure you guys can see that. Right. Let's look at how Peru started, because this is almost a carbon copy of how 2018 went. They had a draw, loss, 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 loss. So they had one win. Their first win came in match day 18. Remember that. One win, match day 8. Their second win came in match day 6. Obviously got pushed back because of COVID. So they had 2 wins in their first, 12 games? First 2 wins. And look at how they finished. Okay, after this game against Bolivia, Argentina. They started winning. Bolivia at home. Venezuela away. The big one, Colombia away. Then they drew with Ecuador at home. They lost to Uruguay. Gareca, man, the guy's a genius. He needs a statue. He needs an absolute statue. He's done it again with this team that has no business whatsoever being in the World Cup, but just gets the motivation. The fans are behind him, and it's a beautiful sight to see. It's absolutely beautiful sight to see. So shout out to every Peruvian out there. It is going to be difficult. I'm expecting it to be Australia versus Peru. It's only one game, so that is the dangerous part in this. But I think Peru will win. Just if something drastically changes for Australia. I have to see some improvements from Australia. But look, Peru are a good team. They showed it in the 2018 World Cup. They should have really gotten out of that group stage. They just, their finishing was just so unclinical. But counterattacking wise, they were so dangerous in that World Cup. And I would expect the same in this World Cup as well. And if Andre Carrillo can be, just clinical in front of goal, and if Lapadula can continue this great goal-scoring form that he shows for Peru, they can make it out of the group stage, obviously depending on the group that they have. But this is another team you don't want to get. But I don't expect them to go far in the World Cup if they do make it. But look, shout out to every Peruvian out there. You're in another intercontinental playoff. You've done it before, and you'll do it again. And let's see what happens then in June for Peru and Gareca, who has done a marvelous job since being manager. Absolutely marvelous job. Shout out to everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in still. Soon going to head out. I'm just going to read your final comments and then head out. I really want the USA to go far, but without a reliable striker, Ivan, that's the problem. We don't have a recognized striker. Pepe, why couldn't you be the guy? P-Fuck, you're just terrible for the U.S. national team. Jesus Ferreira, can we rely on him? No. That's the only problem I have with this U.S. team. I'm still worried about our center backs and striker, but everywhere else, we're good. We're good. Yeah, they're not, but that was 2019, Matt. That was 2019. I refuse to see that as well. If I see that guy lifting the World Cup, a fridge has won a World Cup and lifted it. That guy will be in the same vein as Maradona and Pele in lifting a World Cup. Think about that. When did Brazil win any World Cup? 2002 was the last one. 1994. Trying to think when else. 74, 78? No, 74 they won. 74, yes. They won it 5 times. Can Richarlison turn into a Firmino-linked player and allow the wingers to shine and works for Liverpool? That is true, but I feel like Neymar will do that better than Richarlison. I think if you want to play a more physical team, you would play Richarlison, but not Neymar. No, I don't. I actually enjoy life. By the way. I enjoy life. Yeah, I did see that. I think Salah's really feeling the pain. Seems that there only will be Qatar as debutant. Yeah, only Qatar. They're not the greatest. They're not the greatest away from home. Like, wait, I think they only had picked up 2 away wins. Ecuador, yes, and then they beat Colombia and Venezuela. So they won 3 games away from home, Peru. So that is going to be something to see. Yep, can't wait for it as well. Yep. Lapadula is, yes, he is. Peru away from home is a mixed result. Yep, it will be. Praying Ecuador gets Group A. Is Almiron from Newcastle? Yes, he is. It's way better. I mean, look, maybe Italy would have qualified had they had Lapadula up front. Not even joking. Altitude is dangerous, and Bolivia played to their advantage. A couple of years ago, where Messi were using oxygen. Do you guys remember when Maradona was manager of Argentina? They lost 6-1 in Bolivia. I still remember that match. I remember I was watching it live, and I could not believe what I was watching. The only person I know is Marcos Lopez from San Jose Earthquakes. Theodore, thank you for tuning. I like their goalkeeper Gales and Marcos Lopez at left back. They're both in MLS. Okay, all right. Hasn't been good since their heyday in the 70s. Thank you for the insight. See, I'm not too sure about the Peruvian league. So I remember Sergio Peña was in FC Ellen before in Eredivisie, but he was now at Malmo. Yeah, that's what I don't get. Rui Diaz is fantastic for Seattle Sounders, and then when he puts a Peruvian jersey, he's not as good. But man, when he puts on a Seattle jersey, he turns into fantastic. Who will Australia have to play? They will play UAE in the 3rd place. Peru don't have much young talent. No, they don't, but they have Gareca, who's a fantastic player. He's not playing with Sounders. Why do Farfan and Paulo Guerrero? They're still look. Paulo Guerrero. they had their heyday 2018 World Cup. That was the time for Farfan and Balaguer. They don't need to show up anymore. They have other players who can step up. Is the manager the most important competent? Yes, it is. 100%. If you have a good manager, you're going to do fine in international football. Because look, Peru, they don't have the same talent as Colombia. If you put the two teams next to each other, you would pick the Colombian team. Not just because, they play in top teams in the world, but also they have a lot of talent in Europe. But Gareca is the difference. Gareca is the difference in this. I'm expecting is as well. The reason why I don't see them beating Australia is in a one game off game, it's style matchup. If Australia go to what they do best and play a physical style, which they have the squad to do so. I get that, Oliver. I fully get that with Australia. But why didn't they not play a physical style against Japan? And they should have lost that game 5-0. So I don't trust Graham Arnold. I don't think he knows what his best team is, what his style is with Australian teams. So there's a lot of question marks when it comes to Australia as well. That's why I think UAE could beat them. Sergio Pena was an FC at. Yep, yes, he is at Malmo. Christian Cueva was playing amazing. That assist was beautiful, and he got through two players, set off the player, and crossed it into Yotun. Peru has a lot of youngsters who were born in other countries. Check out Kluivert Aguilar. Man City signed him at the start of this season. I hope for good things for him in the future. Okay, that's all right. I'm going to check him out then. I hope Argentina, they will go far. Don't worry, they will go far. Haven't seen a South American champion in a while yet, but it's been since 2002. They have Argentinian coach. Yes, he has been at the World Cup. I mean, not the World Cup, but he's been in a lot of Middle Eastern teams in the last couple of years. So, yeah, it's looking good. It's looking good. I think UAE could definitely beat Australia. Okay, 70. I would say 70, 62, 58, 94, 2002. So the longest gap for them in that period is 24 years from 70 to 94. So they got to win this World Cup. Otherwise, they're going to match their record in 2026. And they got the team to do it. It is at, I think, Elias, you live on the East Coast or in the UK, 5 p.m. UK time, 12 p.m. Eastern time in the USA, and 7 p.m. Finland time. So I can't wait. Got their heaviest defeat against Brazil 7-0. The worst team away from home is... don't even start that. Don't even start that. Sebastian is going to go mad if I say that. But it's facts. It is facts, by the way. It is facts. It's so sad for Iraq's campaign because they have so many talented players in Europe, but they're always getting benched or overlooked. Yeah, I agree. I mean, Iraq have had 4 different managers in this World Cup qualifiers. If they just had a good direction in the federation, Iraq would have been in the World Cup. I generally think that, but there's just a lot of controversy when it comes to the whole federation. Peru has Gabriel Costa from Colo-Colo. I'm praying for Poland in Group A as well. I think everybody wants to be in Group A with Qatar. Poland probably going to go out in the group stage again. Dapoli, thank you for tuning in. He says South American qualifiers are tougher than MLS. Oh, 100%. Is that even a question? What? Hoping Japan get in group with France. That would be a fantastic footballing match, by the way. Best international manager in the world. I think, this is a great question. I would have to put, if I had to make a top 5 international managers right now, 1 is Luis Enrique, 2 is Hansi Flick, 3 Aliou Cisse, 4 John Herman of Canada, and 5 it is Didier Deschamps or Gareca. It's one of those 2 teams, and obviously Scaloni. See, there's a lot of good managers, but that would be my top 5. That would be my top 5 international managers at this moment. Fridges need some World Cup glory too. World Cup trophies could use some cool. I can't stand it either. Serbia pair. That would be an interesting matchup. They could go around if they draw with Qatar. I don't know, but Peru might have a chance. Last time they won 1-0 in a friendly against Colombia, even in the Copa America. Yeah, that is true. I agree. Iraq needs to learn from previous mistakes in previous World Cup qualifiers. The host is always doing. Will the draw be live on? I don't know. I think in the USA it might be Fox Sports. By the way, Ivan, I think it's Fox Sports where they're showing because I think Fox Sports have the they have the rights to the World Cup in the USA. Will there be warm or the whole? If that will not happen, I cannot see that happen again in a draw. I was referring to why is he good? Okay, I see. Sorry, DePauli, I didn't know what you were talking about. The manager before the Adder Cup left, so that's why we are horrible. Yeah, so sad for Colombia. They're good. They're too good to not qualify. I agree with that. I agree with that. They're too good, but they cost themselves, Eric. They had 7 games in a row where they didn't score a goal. Only themselves to blame. Only themselves to blame. And FIFA Channel might stream. Yeah, I hope they do. I hope they do. It's actually quite good, Hassan. I actually quite like that. I actually quite like it. There's nothing will beat the 2014 World Cup ball because that was fantastic. And well, the Jabulani was the worst one ever because of the whole controversy behind it, but it looked pretty nice actually. I got to be honest. Honest. Um, did they do that? Did they do that? Oh yeah. Oh man. Best footballer right now. Oh wait. Hey, can you post an updated Discord link? It's in the description, Sky. It's in the description. So check it out in the description. It should be there. If not, just let me know. Let me know. Best footballer right now. Benzema. It is Benzema. It is Benzema. I'm gonna discuss tomorrow because I'm gonna wait till I pray that the USA qualify overnight. I wake up and I can have a calm head and think about the USA are in the World Cup once again, and maybe Mexico miss out. Who knows? But I'm going to discuss tomorrow then what sort of groups we could get. Tite is a great coach. Brazil has 40 goals scored, 5 goals against the Conmebol point record against other World Cup teams. Brazil has 5 wins, 3 draws, and only 2 losses under Tite. Yeah, that's true. See, I would have loved to put Tite as well, but that 2018 World Cup kind of haunts me. It kind of haunts me because I thought Brazil could have won that World Cup, but they didn't. Oh, no worries, bro. Hopefully I see you soon. Senegal will reach semis. Oh, if that happens, that would be awesome. Was the real deal? I had a replica of it as well. Yeah, I'd have to limit Oscar Salah. Salah hasn't been the greatest since that AFCON final. It hasn't been that great since the AFCON final. I don't know what's happened to him. I don't know if it's mentally gone into his head or what, but yeah, let's see what happens to Salah. But obviously, Discord link is there. It's just invalid. Lol. Okay. Sebastian 80, can you put in another Discord link in the chat if you could possibly for my Discord? I would really appreciate that. Obviously now I'm streaming, so it's a bit difficult for me to Sky, but if somebody could do that for me, that would be fantastic. I would laugh. It's bogus and terrible. João Fririzan, thank you for tuning in for Brazil. It's not just about winning, but winning while looking good. Of course, it's Joga Bonito. That works great on football because you break defensive system. Of course. And if you look at the way Brazil have been playing, especially in these last 3 games, yes, I know they're against lesser opposition in Paraguay, Chile, and Bolivia. But if we see this Brazil and they play like that in the World Cup, they're looking good. I mean, look, the world is a better place when Brazil are at the top in football, right? It's just a better place. And we just want to see attractive football that 2002 played, 1994 played. We want to see that. And we just haven't been seeing it. 2014, yes, at times they played good, but that team was just not good enough to win the World Cup. And, we saw what happened. But honestly, the way Brazil have been playing, they're looking good. I think they can definitely win this World Cup. I would definitely put them top 2 to win the World Cup. No, it isn't. Senegal, Denmark, Argentina, Brazil that would be ridiculous if Senegal made it to the semifinals. I hope that happens, but they need a striker. But yeah, guys, check if it now works, Scott. Check if it now works. But yeah, guys, just watching back the highlights from the last World Cup. Do you remember? Oh yeah, 100. Cheryshev was a baller in that World Cup, and then I haven't heard from him since. Well, obviously, was at Real Madrid Academy, but hasn't done anything since. But guys, schedule for this week. So tomorrow I'll be back live, giving my. We're going to discuss about the pots and what sort of groups we would like to see, groups of deaths, groups of life, and that sort of stuff. And then obviously Friday, there is the draw. I will be having a live reaction to the draw. So hopefully you guys are all going to be there joining with me. As you know, I've been covering all of the World Cup qualifiers all the time. It's been fantastic. And now we're slowly getting to it, the build up to the World Cup. It's the best tournament in the world, and I don't want to hear anything about it. Then also over the weekend, there will be Champions League quarterfinal predictions, Europa League quarterfinal predictions, and the Conference League quarterfinal predictions. And hopefully we get some good games. It's already back next week. Man, there's so much football to get, so much football to talk about. Oh, I wish it didn't work. I wish this could be my job. But yeah, a lot of work ahead, people. But Friday's a big day. World Cup draw is going to be fun. And we get to discuss about it. We get to discuss about the possible matchups we could see in the round of 16 quarterfinals, which is always fun, but it's awesome just to see, some new teams like Canada in it. Ecuador back. Peru is going to make it back to back. We get to see obviously Senegal. We get to see Morocco, Tunisia, so Cameroon back as well. And I'm just hoping USA make it. We're gonna make it, barring a collapse of epic proportions I have never seen in my life. The USA will be back in the World Cup, and luckily I got one team, unlike Sebastian. Sorry, Sebastian, I had to do it to you. They won't. They won't. They won't. They won't. They won't. Denmark could go to. Oh, yeah. I honestly do think so. I honestly, thank you very much, Chris. Yeah, we're working to it. We're working to it. Denmark could even win. Well, it would be awesome to see. Awesome to see Denmark win the World Cup. It would be awesome. Hopefully one day. Hopefully one day, Elias. We'll hopefully get there. Always host, makes easiest groups. Maybe cheat and draw. Well, Russia definitely cheated in the last draw. They got Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and Uruguay. That was the easiest one they could get. Even pot 2 looks very good. There are truly no easy groups. Very excited for the draw. The 2 weakest team in pot 2 is the USA and Mexico. I got to be honest. They're just not a pot 2 team. They're a pot 3 team, I would say. But look, we could get some interesting groups. If USA can play fast and with passion like they did versus Panama, Ivan, it's all great. It's all great that we played fast and passionate against Panama. When we played a good defensive team like Canada, we crumbled. We had lacking ideas. We need a prolific striker who can get us the goals. I'm hoping it was Pepe, but he's too young still. We put too much pressure on him. He needs to develop more, but I'm liking the way it's going. I don't fully trust in Greg Berhalter yet, but let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Hopefully Senegal, Greg Masterclass, he will scare us losing to Costa Rica 2-0, but won't start the best lineup. Yeah, exactly. I think we're gonna lose. Like, we've never won in Costa Rica, by the way. If you're not familiar with USA football, we have never won in Costa Rica. So if we could win in Costa Rica, that would be, I think, a massive confidence booster when we didn't have Weston McKennie, no Serginho Dest. So all is well. Oh yeah, I'll be supporting Senegal in the World Cup too. No, well, Calvin, we're basically in. We would just have to lose 6-0. And then we would go into the playoff against New Zealand. But yeah. So Qatar could be in pot 1. Yes, they're always pot 1. Hosts are always in pot 1. We have not won since 1992. 80. Do you remember? Have we not learned our lesson from 2018? 97% chance we would qualify. And look what happened. All right, people. I'm gonna head out now. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. How many likes did we hit? We hit 28 likes. Remember, guys, to hit the like button, we had 73 votes, and we had 68% of you say that Brazil are World Cup favorites. That's a big number, and we're going to have to see what that number is going to look like later this year. But big shout out to everybody. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to the stream. Remember to join my Discord. It is in the description down below. Remember to follow me on Twitch. Remember to follow me on Twitter. And remember to follow me on Instagram. You guys can find all of those links in the description down below. Soon the World Cup qualifiers content is over. It's soon over. It is a sad moment because I love talking about these international football. Much prefer talking about international football over club football. So it is sad times ahead, but World Cup draw is going to be fun. And hopefully you guys are all here on Friday for the live reaction. I cannot wait. Oh, cannot wait. If the USA and Portugal are in the same group, my house is going to be very awkward. Big up, everybody. Have a beautiful day. Thanks, Albert, Mo, Calvin, Sebastian, Ali, Reza, Eric, Matt, AD, Christy. If I'm missing anybody else, Ivan, Elias, thank you, everybody, for tuning into the stream. You guys are the real deal. If you guys didn't tune in, I remember when at the beginning I started, I had only 1 or 2 people watching, not even throughout the whole stream. Now I'm averaging, I'm very happy to say that, on average, we have 25, 30 people, maybe even sometimes 45 people watching the stream. It's awesome. It truly is awesome. I'm not the greatest with my words, right? I have dyslexia, but I just get to share my passion. We get to have a joke, but we're not rude to each other whatsoever in this chat. Obviously, we can throw banter, but there's a level to how rude you can be. And yeah, just hopefully you guys all enjoy the content. In the future, I'll get some membership stuff going on, and we can have, live streams where I can actually swear a lot. I don't try and swear a lot in these live streams, but in the memberships, then I'll swear all the time because that's usually my personality. But hopefully you guys join me on this journey. We're going to go through still the Champions League, Conference League especially. If you guys love Conference League, this is the channel for you. Obviously Europa League as well, discussing all the leagues. So yeah, even with the World Cup qualifiers content soon over, there's always football to talk about. And obviously, guys, remember Friday, it is the World Cup draw live reaction. See you tomorrow, where we're going to discuss about the pots and possible groups coming up. Have a beautiful day. Stay safe, everyone.